Welcome to the Creative Plan Podcast Network. Join us as we share our favorite RPGs, one-shot games, tabletop games, reviews of items, and convention panels, and other exciting things that we run into from time to time. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Sign to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, Jim here and Kelly. With Creative Plan Podcast Network. It is RPGaDay, August the 19th, and I'm afraid to tell you what the day is.
Scary? Are you scared?
It's scary.
Scary.
It's scary.
Oh,
so for scary, I'm going to throw something out there that goes counterculture to things we have said in previous days this month. Things about like the X card and, respect and being careful with your players. Scary is hard in an RPG. It is hard to set an emotion because as a GM, you can't flat out tell a player your character's scared. Even though you failed your fear check and there's some kind of mechanical thing showing that you failed your check, it's hard to get scary into a game. Except for when you play one of those good horror games out there, You've got Dread, which uses the Jenga set. Every time your character tries to do something, you pull a Jenga piece out, and if it crashes, the big bad shows up and kills you.
Oh, I haven't played that one.
Yeah, well, don't worry. For Halloween, we're going to be doing we're going to do 13 games of fear. Woo! And then you've got, which we will definitely be playing, because I got me a copy of 10 Candles. It's a horrible game where everyone will be dead by the end of the game, but it's a good time because you get to pick your own death. And so scary is a hard thing to create in a game setting, especially if you're not safe with your group. Now, if you're a GM who knows his players, you've been playing forever, you don't need an X card idea, and you know how you can push your players' buttons to invoke the feeling of scary. You can go with like the mood lighting, you can go with the keeping them off balance, requiring checks and, this or that, or wisdom saves to see if they lose their stuff, But scary is hard to do in a game. Because a lot of times, do you scare the player, but is that scaring the character?
True, that's a very interesting point. And I'm trying to remember a time where I was really scared in a game. And more anxious or nervous and stuff. But I can remember when I was young, when the Monster Manual and stuff came out, and
Your dreaded nightmare.
Oh God. So flipping through the Monster Manual, and the original Monster Manual, the graphics aren't that good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are some of them because, of course, it's varying artists. Mm-hmm. There was one that the picture and it wasn't even that good of a drawing, but it creeped me out so bad that now you are forbidden to use these creatures.
And you've mentioned many times.
Yes. And it was like the horror on the person's face, and
this simple man at arms looking at his arm.
The boring into the skin, the rock rubs. Oh my God. And the wide-eyed horror on this person's face just creeped me out to this day. I can still, and that whole, so then, just so freaking creepy. And now that whole concept of, the boring under the skin, and oh my God, anytime I see something like that in a movie or something, I'm like, oh my God, I can got the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. Oh. So, I mean, I don't recall, like, being scared in a game, you know, type of thing. But, oh my God, the Monster Manual, that one picture, I mean, I was young, I was impressionable, and it left an impression. Ugh.
That's why you were never allowed to watch that vampire series on FX.
Which one was that? Oh, God, I saw, like, the very first episode and the thing with the eye. Forget it, I was done. Oh my God. Nope, I could not. Nope. Ew. Yeah, God, that's...
So how would you like, you know, let me ask you, before you get to your scare, how would you like it? That was your scare?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you had something else.
Well, there was one that I wanted to kind of do because it was kind of going to be kind of creepy. At RingCon last year, they had a fabulous thing for a ladies' gaming space. And they were going to do Bluebeard.
The Bride
Bluebeard. And they were going to do it like with low lighting, kind of candlelight lighting, and you have to talk in whispers, you know. And I really kind of wanted to do that because it really sounded kind of creepy and, you know, but it conflicted with the murder mystery that my sister and I run, so we couldn't do it. But that would have been...
Yeah, Brides of Bluebeard by Magpie Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, we each play a part of the bride.
Yeah, so that would have been, I think it would have been really, I mean, and as a woman, it would be kind of scary, you know, but...
The pretense behind the game is absolutely
exactly terrifying.
Yeah.
You know, but we're not going to get into that, you know. Look it up.
Yep.
You know, but it would have been interesting to explore that type of...
In a safe environment.
In a safer environment and type of thing, you know. With all women, you know. But still, it would have been...
Yeah.
It would have been... I know it would have been creepy, and I wish I could have at least done that, so...
There's always this year at RPGaDay.
Well, it depends.
Magpie Games comes out every year.
Well, it just depends. Yeah. I also have to run a murder mystery.
Yes. So that is... And that is August the 19th. Scary.
Down in the depths of the mountain, we dwarves spend our time forging powerful weapons, mining precious gems and metals, and feasting like kings. But after a day of digging for the next Arkenstone, this dwarf likes to come home to a package full of loot. Dungeon Crate is a monthly subscription box service forged specifically for RPG and tabletop gamers. Miniatures, dice, tokens, coins, maps, modules, terrain pieces, handcrafted items, RPG jewelry, and more are yours for only a few gold per month. You even get a digital crate along with a physical one as an added bonus. So are you brave enough to reward yourself with a Dungeon Crate? By Morden's beard, I hope so. DungeonCrate.com. Let the adventure begin.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.